Hello again. I'm going to give you some more tips for Left 4 Dead 2 today. This is a follow-up to the video I did recently. One of the things to start with is, there's an important balance to be struck between items, like getting items and finding items, getting the good weapons and all the good items, and of course being quick, because as I mentioned in the last video, it's important to be quick. Keep in mind when you're hunting for items, I'm going to run around and I'm going to grab stuff as quickly as I can because that's how essentially I can make sure that I get lots of items as well as at the same time, um, not get inundated by the horde. Now I've actually got cheats on, so I'm kind of screwing with you a little bit right now in that they're not going to come anyway. But um, it is important when you're exploring around for items. Do it quickly, keep moving because, as I say, that's how you're going to avoid the horde. Now, another thing that can come in really handy if you run into a tank or a witch, use the environment. Like, see, I picked this location to start this video just because there's so much stuff around, and I like to call it dancing. You can kind of dance with the tank or the witch by using the environment because the tank is going to try to like climb over stuff, and you move a little faster than him normally anyway. But even if you're hurt or something, you can use the environment. So I've got cheats enabled again, so I'm just gonna spawn a tank there and see how, like, if I move around here, he can't get me. And you can use fences, you can jump over fences, you can hide behind things when he's about to throw a rock, and I kind of screwed that up because the rocks kind of warp anyway, which is kind of cheap, but see? And he's down. I didn't even fire a shot. The bots did it all. Like a hole like this one, you can dance around that hole and he'll like try to chase you one way. You're kind of playing Ring Around the Rosie a little bit. Um, and it's pretty hilarious. Like something like this or maybe a fence or something, he'll have to like slowly climb up and then climb down and that kind of thing. And you can use that and basically dance around him, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Oh, damn. So I spawned another one and see, now we're in trouble, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run in here. Maybe he's going to go after Coach anyway, but use the environment and, get to a point where you can hurt him, but at the same time, stay far enough away. Let's see, that's another dead tank. And we can do the same thing for the witch, so let's spawn one of those. Man, the witch gets kind of really confused sometimes, which is pretty funny, actually. But I can spawn those. I can, maybe I'll stun her with an explosive, which is another good thing you can do. Let's see, now she's after me. Oh, what are you gonna do, witch? What are you gonna do? And again, you can use fences, you can use buildings, whatever. So, those are important tips. So moving right along, proper adrenaline use. This is a big one. So, say Coach is really hurt. All right. I don't have time to hurt him that much, but I'll show you what you can do. Adrenaline, you can use this in a whole variety of situations, actually. A lot of people think it's a useless item, but say you want to heal yourself really quickly, which is what I use it for quite often. I always keep an adrenaline around, and this is one of the main reasons. If I'm like in the middle of a horde or there's a whole bunch of stuff coming at me, I'm really hurt, I need to heal quickly, I'll actually keep an adrenaline and a health pack, and then I'll just do this, use the adrenaline, switch to my health pack, and look how fast I heal. And you can use the same thing, basically. And again, having cheats on, I'm just gonna give myself another adrenaline. But you can use that for a whole variety of purposes. You can use it to run faster if you're in water. Maybe I'll show you that a little later since we're on hard rain here. But if you're in water, you can actually run through the water even, and normally the water slows you down quite a lot. You can use it on a generator to start the generator quickly. You can use it to heal somebody else. So there's a whole variety of things. If somebody's down, or like the one of the major uses that I use it for is if like all my teammates are down, then I'll use an adrenaline, and that allows me to pick them all up really quickly. Actually, give me a second, and I'll show you that. So here I am, this is what I was talking about. I've got all my poor teammates incapacitated. God knows how that happened. So I used my adrenaline. Boom, one. Well, she's gonna do that one. I can do that, and then I can heal somebody really quickly. Bam. We're doing much better. And then I can, you know, shoot them all. Alright, so that's that, and now we'll continue on with some other tips. So I switched to death toll for the rest of this, a good old Left 4 Dead 1 campaign. I want to show you a little more about dealing with the specials, and then also, you know, the gameplay along with the common infected and the hordes and everything. So let's say we have a boomer. Now, yeah,
Nice job.
maybe I'm gonna have to kick these bots.
Whoa, nice shot.
The fun you can have with cheats and stuff, eh? Alright, so say there's a boomer, and he's gonna come and try to spit on me. Well, obviously I can shove him before he spits. And that's, of course, critical. I don't even know where that one spawned. Alright, so, you know, he's gonna try to spit on me. Obviously, you don't want to shoot him when he's too close to you. Seem to be having a problem with sometimes invisible guys, too. Bit of an issue. Or maybe he spawned inside the bus. But anyway, yeah, you don't want the boomer too close to you when you blow him up, or else you're going to get, you know, puked on, and then the horde's going to come and all that.
Boomer!
There we go. But if you're quick enough, just give him a shove. And the shove, of course, works with most of the special infected. It works with the boomer, works with the jockey, the hunter, all that. I mean, I showed you how to dead stop a hunter before. Of course, with a jockey or a hunter, they're gonna grab onto the enemy, or sorry, they're gonna grab onto the other survivors. But you see, you can do that too. If you catch him in between leaps, you know, when he comes down, give him a shove, and then that gives you time to kill him before he jumps again. So that's your hunter. If you have a smoker, you know, shove him before he grabs you. Gives you time to take him out. Now, the only one that you can't shove as far as the regular special infected is the charger, so keep that in mind. You know, the charger grabs onto one of your teammates, you can't shove him off, which is one of the big differences. But, you know, everybody else, the spitter, you can do the same thing, you know, kill her before she spits, or if she's close, give her a shove before she spits. You know, get her out of the way sometimes too. The jockey, you know, I was telling you this before, see how he jumps, and then, you know, you give him a shove before he actually grabs you, so there's that. And I've got some more tips for all this, so we'll continue on with this in a second. Alright, so I'm actually going to play through this level both to, you know, show off some of the things I've been telling you about, but also to basically show you some more things about how the game works, how the infected work, the regular common infected and the special infected. So, as I say, you know, looking for items quickly, keeping moving here. Of course, my server, I can store some of these up, but I'm gonna keep that one. You're gonna run through, and like, again, you don't actually have to necessarily kill all these zombies, well, especially when you have the bots following you. One thing you'll notice here, that the special infected, most of them will come, with the exception of the smoker, the other ones will actually come from in front of you, and so if you're lost on a map and you're not sure where you need to go, that's actually a really good way to figure it out. Because, you know, obviously, well, where am I going? Well, the special infected, with the exception of the smoker, will always be coming from in front of you, like ahead on the path of where you need to be going. So that's one way of actually finding your way. And you can use that, and it comes in actually really handy. Oh, we got a tank. Oh, and I think I missed him with that. That's the only problem with running through the level. Again, I got my sound turned down so that you guys can hear me talk. And you see, this is the other thing that when you have a sudden mob, they'll actually usually come from behind you instead. I might be needing that adrenaline trick any moment now. Okay, so when like you've been screwing around too long, kind of a thing, you've been taking too much time, that kind of mob that comes out of nowhere will generally come from behind you. And actually, this is a really good time to have a Molotov when that happens, because you can just, if you hear that sound that the horde is coming from, and it's just like an out of nowhere horde, you know they're going to come from behind you. So you can find, like, say, a doorway like that one that they're going to have to all come through, or like some narrow passageway, like what we would call a choke point, and you can throw your Molotov behind you and it'll actually kill all of them, if you place it just right. And see, again, these guys have come from, generally speaking, in front of me. See, chargers up there. That's actually exactly where we need to go, and that's where the charger's coming from. So that's actually a way of navigating. So when you're lost, just, you know, try to figure out where the specials are coming from. See, shoving works with the common infected as well. Like, it gives you a second, extra little moment or two to actually kill them before they actually get a chance to hit you. So keep that in mind. These things come in really handy, actually.
Reloading.
Oh, and we got another throwable over here, so I'm gonna grab that. Now we got more than one, actually. So again, you want to use those, because these are actually going to come in really handy very shortly, because we have a panic event coming up. And that's the difference, actually, that, see, again, these guys are coming from in front of where we actually need to go. It's a way of finding where you need to go sometimes. And besides that, we have a panic event coming. So as I was telling you, the normal hordes that just come out of nowhere, they'll come from behind you. But when you have a panic event like this, the bulk of them will actually come from in front of you. You'll have some of these stragglers coming from behind, and actually, yeah, we've got a mini mob going on, which is what they call those ones. So as I was saying yesterday, okay, these guys are behind. Well, we may as well get going, and then, you know, we'll have this many behind us. Of course, you do have to watch out for your teammates. We'll have that many of them behind us, and that actually leaves, you know, fewer in front. And this is actually, you know, this is probably the hardest part of this campaign right here. So if your teammates can keep up with you, then, you know, leave some of those guys behind you. Don't even worry about them, and just keep going. But then, you know, you can also throw that Molotov behind. Those guys will die. Off we go. I don't want that one. And this is where, okay, now here's another thing. When you've got a lot of zombies coming at you, wherever you are, you can use what I would call the shove and melee trick. So you notice, like, they're not doing any damage to me. And that's not just because the bots are killing them all, of course, which is also a factor, but you can basically alternate shove and melee, because you can only shove so many times in a row, and of course your melee takes, you know, a little bit too long to just constantly melee them. So use that, and here's where, again, like, a bile or a pipe bomb comes in really handy when a lot of them are coming at you. And see, those guys, even with the smoker grabbing me like that, those guys were essentially too busy with the pipe bomb to actually come and get me. So normally this would be really hard right here, but if we say do that, and again we use the fence, they're all trying to climb over, then we just run right through here. You can shove these guys who are all spawning right here in the safe room, and that's another thing, they'll only spawn where you're not looking. So if you're in the safe room, you know, make sure to look around.
This shit ain't easy.
Alright, so it's time for the finale, and this is actually going to be my last tip. I don't anticipate doing a part 3 to this, so this is of course a holdout finale, and the thing about holdout finales, and really actually holdout events in general, because you'll run into these occasionally in the middle of a level too, you know, take a look at your surroundings, like explore a little before you start it up. I already know this one, so I'm not going to do that. But the thing to keep in mind when you're doing a holdout is that you need to be somewhere where they're not going to get you too easily. Although also you might need somewhere where you can escape because, for instance, you're going to get a tank coming at you, that kind of thing. So in the case of this one, personally, I like the back porch. The thing that that you need is as few entrances as possible, as few places for the zombies to come from as possible. But at the same time, you need a good view. You need to be able to see them when they are coming, and you need to be able to, respond and move where you need to move. So I like this because they can only come from the two sides of the deck and the middle of the house there, which leaves you pretty safe. And there's similar spots on a lot of them, like for instance the parish finale, sorry, not the parish finale, the Swamp Fever finale. There's the plantation house, which is what I was actually thinking of. And so that plantation house, the inside, there's a staircase to the one side. Like there's the main staircase, but there's another staircase. And there's only like 2 places for the zombies to come from there. And so it's awesome. You just sit there and you kill all the zombies and you just wait. And of course you want to be able to get to your ammo and your other supplies. So this one's perfect because the ammo's right there. But otherwise, when the tank comes, that kind of timing, or like just after you've killed the tank, run, get some ammo, and then just run back to your holdout spot. And you can do that in all kinds of places. Just keep in mind, you want to, limit the number of entrances, and give yourself at the same time maneuverability and stuff. So, once you figure that kind of thing out, there's actually not that much to it. It's a little different when you're fighting the tank. You're going to need some space because, the tank is going to run at you and it's big and it takes a while to kill. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to leave yourself some space to maneuver once the tank comes. But the rest of the time, you just, as I did right here, you just retreat back to your holdout spot. And some of them are actually really easy when you do it this way. I always find this one, the plantation house, some of the other ones. There's spots like the dead air. There's the gas truck you can sit on top of. There used to be in old versions of the game, and especially Left 4 Dead 1, there was like a corner that you could hide in. But they make it, they've done some changes over time to make it not quite so easy, I guess. But a lot of the custom campaigns, same principle applies. Find a place where you can basically just sit and let the zombies run into your gun, I guess. And then you just gotta, I'm keeping a good view here. I can see where everything's coming. The bots are kind of stupid, but I try to kind of herd them back here. Follow me, little bots. And of course, give the same advice to your teammate. And I like this side over here because most of the specials come from this side. Yeah, I mean, once you figure all that out, again, you got your adrenaline, so you can rescue your teammates quickly if something happens to them. You got to take out those specials before they... See, I shot them as much as I could in the head there. I kind of missed a little, but same idea. And like spitters over there, all right, take it out before it gets here. And if you take out those special infected at long range, then they don't have a chance to get you, and really just everything gets a lot easier. And yeah, you can kind of dodge. Oh, see, the bots aren't very smart again, but that's something I often do. If I see a charger coming, I'll just dodge out of its way.
Cocktails.
Bill, you might want to use your med kit. Tank!
Fire in the hole!
It's always the same principles at work. Once you figure out like how to deal with this and that, then the rest becomes kind of easy. I don't know where I dropped my bile, but oh well.
Here, let's go!
We did it, except for Zoe, because she was dumb. Come on, Bill. And again, like, cover your teammates.
Reloading.
Watch for what's coming. Keep your eyes and ears out.
Reloading.
Shoot everything. Everything dies before it gets you. And you're good, and you run away.
Let's get that.
And you succeed. Hooray! And that's how you play the game. So I'll catch you next time when I do something different.